Hey there, this is Robin Coates. Welcome to this episode of the Suede Sofa. So, what season are you in? Are you in spring, summer, fall, or winter? And of course, I'm not talking about the seasons that we go through every 365 days, but I'm talking about the seasons of life. And, we can experience a lot of frustration, a lot of confusion, disorientation if we don't understand the seasons. And it's important that we know what season we are in because it's only then that we can match the appropriate response to that season. So here's the principle. The principle is discern the season to align your response. I want to read a verse. This is a verse that is really intriguing to me. It comes from 1 Chronicles 12:32 from the NIV. And it says, the men of Issachar understood the times and knew what Israel should do. They just didn't understand the times. They knew the right thing to do, the next right action. And that's what being appropriate in the moment is all about. So here's where we want to start. Here's a question. Do you know what season you're in? Now, one of the things that I said in the previous video was that we aren't all areas of our life, we might not be in the same season in. So you might have, say, relationships or physical or personal areas where maybe things are thriving. Maybe you're going through harvest, but maybe you're going through winter in another area. But sometimes we kind of have an overall, like if I had to say what the season my life is going in right now, or what season my life is in right now, a lot of times there's one kind of main season. Now, a simple way to discern your season is to ask these two questions. What does my life actually look like right now? And if you look in the description, I've got the mentoring page posted with a supplemental guide that will help you kind of go deeper along with scripture guide. So here's some questions, just a couple questions I'll give you right now. What does your life actually look like right now? And what might God be doing in this season? So if you're in spring, then that is a season that God is working with you to plant seeds. And, we are in a partnership with God. There's a part that only God expects us to do, and there's a part that only God can do. And we want to do our part and work in tandem with God, doing the part that He's assigned to us to do. So the 4-season frameworks is spring is the beginning and planting. So if you're in spring, then that means there's a lot of maybe new opportunities, a lot of hope, a lot of expectation. Maybe you see the horizon and it looks exciting and you've got some dreams that you're pursuing. Summer is a time of growing and sustaining, and you're just having to do a lot of hard work and you just keep showing up and just being faithful. Fall is a time for harvest and reflection. We always want to reflect after harvest, whether it's good or not so good, or even somewhere in between, and reflect and say, did I get the harvest that I was after? And if not, what do I need to do? What changes do I need to make? So here's a helpful refrain. No season is wasted. Every season is doing something different. Spring is the beginning, summer is the building, fall is the revealing, and winter is the forming. And the reason this matters is part of walking in wisdom is recognizing your season, aligning your response and walking it out with God. And as you begin to do that, you're going to see if you are spending a lot of time in frustration mode, you'll be able to plant the seeds in spring, and then you'll be able to work those seeds so that you get the harvest that you desire. And when it's winter time, that will be a time, instead of you frantically trying to work, that's time for you to rest, time for you to hold tight to God, for you to learn what you need to learn, for you to heal where you need to heal, for you need to rest. It's also a time of grieving, but then you'll be ready when spring comes to go, okay, it's time for me to plant. And you'll be able to plan ahead and to prepare so that you're ready for the season when it comes. So in the next video, we will continue this series on the 4 seasons of life. And hopefully by now, you have a good idea of what season you are in overall. And then take a look at other areas in your life. What season are you in, say in relationships now? And with relationships, you can break those up into, we just don't have just one relationship. We have multiple relationships. And maybe some of those relationships are in the spring season. So that maybe some of them are in the summer, maybe some are in the fall or the winter. But you can identify the main categories of your life just so you have an idea of where you are, what season you are in. And we will continue this in the next episode.